Hey y'all, what's up? I knew it. I knew Chance and Dumbo were gonna pull this. I knew they would pull this. They wasted our time and wasted Dr. Stacy time and wasted the group members' time with this bull crap they was pulling. Check. Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Mizzle. Watching my channel Mizzle 14. And I'm back doing a review of Put a Ring on It, Season 4, Episode 3. Will You Hold My Baggage? Like I stated before, Chance and Dunbar played themselves. They didn't play themselves because I kind of knew they was here for play. They wasn't here for to be serious. And the fact that they left it how they left it as it did, it was crazy. But we'll get to that. We're gonna keep them last. We're gonna go this way. We're gonna go this way. Remember, this is Dr. Stacy, that's the therapist. This is Chance Dunbar. This is Joya, Joshua and Joya. This is Vicky and Catherine. All right, so let's go with Vicky Catherine. So they asked, I continued last week, oh, you going to continue the second date, so not with your date. Vicky said he got a lot of insights from Sheila about his situation with parenting, that she didn't have no issue with it. Everything, as long as it's respectful, as long as it's boundary, as long as that's what you say it is, that's what it's going to be. And we don't have an issue, just communicate. And so it puts Catherine in perspective that a lot of people may not have the same issue that you may have and be okay with that. So you got to understand, as long as you be communicative and be truthful about what it is, as long as that you and your ex-wife, who you got a son together, it's just that. I know they say it was more things to them, but they be best friends, they hang out, they chill a lot of times. And I was like, that's a lot of time spending with each other. I mean, I know y'all could be cool and everything, so you only know bad blood. Because I'd rather have that instead of somebody coming to my house being a messy and crazy, deranged baby mama who want to cause my life in turmoil, who want to put my life in turmoil. So I want to do with that. I'd rather do with someone who's fun, laid back, it's cool, and everything. But it had to be some boundaries. It has to be boundaries. It had to be like, I know, understand that if you're traveling and you're going over there and you're staying there, staying there in the couch, that could be an issue, and I could see that could be an issue because it's like you don't know, because you could be doing more than just staying on the couch. So I do understand that you don't want to take that trip back. I would say if that's the case, why just don't bring the kid over there to your house? It's just you got a full house full of people anyway, so they could help you watch the kids. But long as it stay like that. But they did say that he put a stop to that sleeping over in the couch. Because I said yes. I mean, why you can't come home? Even though you watching kids, like you could still hold up. Yeah, you could still basically still be the kid and coming home. You don't have to be staying the night. So they put a stop to that. But he felt like Catherine don't understand the rest of it, so they had to get together. So for the decision of the second date with Sheila, he had a good time with Sheila. They talked. She gave some insights, and at first he said no, but he said it on the behalf because Catherine won't like it and everything. I said no, stop that, y'all. Y'all follow your heart. If you feel like the date was good enough and you want to have more, just say yes. Don't worry about the dates. Phil, I understand that you came with Catherine, and at the end of the day, if you still plan to propose to her, that's still your goal. Just that, but don't cheat yourself in the process by making a decision based on the other. No, make a decision based on you. She will have to just deal with it. So he said, you know what? Yes, it will be a second date with Sheila and everything. And Catherine said, okay, it is what it is. So this week, and let's go jump into it. So when it comes to Joya and Joshua, um, Joshua said no to Celine, like even though she's good, but he didn't get that spark vibe, like he like he got with Joya. Like when he first met Joya, it's like the way how she look in your eyes and things, and they look through your deep in your soul. Her eyes tell your soul and everything. He didn't get that feeling for Celine, even though she was a good lady, she was a nice lady, but he didn't get that spark feeling. So he said no to a second date to Celine. Now back to Catherine Ricky. So this week they're gonna be doing something different. They're gonna be dating the exes. And I said the exes? Really? Why are they dating the exes? And it's get to show them something that they probably overlooked and something that is needed to help you move forward into your current relationship. Something in the past relationship affected your ability to proceed further in your current relationship. So these people exes. Now, Joya and Joshua, their exes both was not comfortable at coming to this process. They're helping them. So Dr. Stacy will go do an individual session with them personally. So good. So they won't be having no dates with his exes. Chancellor Dunbar, they didn't show up for the session. And we're going to explain why when they didn't show up. They didn't show up for the session. After she had that one-on-one, I'm going to talk about that one-on-one that she had with Dunbar, what he said in a minute. But they didn't show up for the sessions. And I said, that's disrespectful. When you have group sessions, you don't show up and don't tell the therapist that you're not coming. That's wrong, that's disrespectful, and that's wasting people's time. So the only people who went on a date with the exes was Ricky and Catherine. So Chelsea is the ex-wife of Ricky, and they have a son together. She said nothing going on between them. They have no sexual energy or next sexual chemistry. They have no sex with each other. It's just that they be cool and they best friends and get along for the sake of their son, which I think is fine. But I know they say that they do hang out a lot, they eat out a lot together, stuff like that. So maybe cut down a little bit of that to make sure Catherine is okay with that. But at the same time, I feel like I don't think Catherine is pushing probably her past experience with the person she was with. We'll go talk about that in a minute. Into this one and realize you may have to understand what's going on. Sit down with Chelsea and Ricky and see what it is. So you better be comfortable of that fact that they will go be in each other's lives no matter what you think, what you say. They go be in each other's lives. And as long as you're not making your life difficult, then you will have to accept that. And also create boundaries. You want to create boundaries of what's allowed, what's not allowed. Make sure that Chelsea knows that. Make sure Vicky's on the same page, and move on from that. But I think I like your insecurities. It's stemming from your past into this one, so you kind of like shaping everybody who have a baby mama or a baby daddy together in one, and it's like it's always going to be an issue. And I don't think that is. So I feel like if you knew he has a kid and he had an ex-wife and they had a kid together and you decided to still be with him, then that's something you just have to accept. Now, if you're not accepting that, then you have to worry what about why I really went with a person who has a child already, and I don't have no kids of my own yet. So I think it needs to be some boundaries set in place. I need to have a conversation, a meet down, and y'all be on the same page. That's the only way I would get better. That's the only way y'all would get further in your relationship if y'all be on the same page. All right, so they went out and they discussed, and when Chelsea and Ricky was going on a date, he was opening doors and everything. She's like, oh my God, this is Ricky. Because I seemed like he was not like that with his ex-wife either. Like his romanticism and his romantic gestures, opening the door, or giving gifts and compliments, and putting up the chairs. Chivalry in him was not there. So with the fact that she was surprised that he was doing that, he said, I'm learning, I'm getting better. She said, all right. I said, child, the fact that you wasn't doing that little basic stuff before, that means what kind of guy were you there, child? So all about the bills and nothing about chivalry. So they talk and they seem like they have a cool relationship. They can seem like there's no animosity between those. And I guess what they needed to show what they was probably lacking and what they was not doing in the past and what has happened in their past that affected their current relationship. Maybe you could have a conversation with Catherine, let her know what's up between us and the expectations that we have and what we do, how we bonded for the sake of our son. That is not disrespectful. We don't overstep any boundaries. And maybe, sleeping over the couch was probably a bit too much, so they put a stop to that. But maybe some other things could cut down a little bit to make sure Catherine now feels some type of way about it. So I feel it was needed. So they will have Vicky set up the time with Chelsea and Catherine sit down together. And I think that's needed. Because it seems like this is the big obstacle. One of the big obstacles that I feel like Catherine had with Vicky is the fact that his relationship with his ex-wife. And until that get over, she always going to be stuck in that scenario. Now, hopefully that's it. And hopefully they ain't lying in our faces that it was more to the situation and everything, because I was like, tell us about it because on the trailer it seems like more comes out. So I want to know what else he be doing and what else is going on. If it's not just the baby mama, we get more information of what's happening in the relationship that is not conducive. And also, y'all gotta have your own place. The fact that y'all all staying in the same one place with your sister and brothers and parents, it's a bit too much. So I'm trying to understand how y'all all live in that same place and y'all having the peace. And I feel like Catherine needs to speak up and saying something about having your own place and tell them to step up. We need to be in our own. We cannot live it together in this house as well as much. If we want to pursue this relationship and get married and do that, we need to have our own living situation. So I guess that need to have a conversation in the future on top of the conversation they will have with Celine. Now, Catherine have her date with her ex boyfriend named Corey, and it was interesting because her reason why she was putting the baggage of the children and the baby daddy, baby mama situation into Ricky's and her relationship because she had her ex Corey, who's remarried now, but at the time, their boyfriend girlfriend, he had a child, and she had to deal with that. So a lot of insecurity stems from that, and how he handled things stems from her or Ricky and her relationship, and then to realize she got to do better at that because sometimes it might not be the same situation. She was looping all of them the same, but it's not the same situation. You don't know how they handle things, and what is the dynamic between the two people who have children together. So it was interesting because he kept saying that she was immature, she was doing too much, she was very stubborn, and she admit that she was, and I think she kind of admit that she's somewhat working on it now, but she was immature and stuff like that. Now he was 36, she was 20, 16 years old difference, 16 years difference. So I'm trying to understand how mature you think she will be at 20 years old when she in a situation with you who's 36 years old who ready to have a child. So how you think she will handle that? She's ready, just getting over the teenage years and starting her life together. Trying to get responsibility, trying to find her own. Like, so she jumped in a relationship with someone who's an older guy with a kid, and you didn't handle the situation as much because you admitted to yourself that you could have handled the situation better, and you didn't. So how much maturity that she was going to give at 20 years old? I don't understand that. Like, it's like you prayed on this young girl for what? To loop her? It didn't work out. I know he's married now. He's good. But I'm trying to see, like, she was hard-headed and everything. And I said, maybe she could be that. But I'm saying she's 20 years old. So how mature did you expect from her? Don't get me wrong. I'm saying that people who are 20 and everything, they all like wild and out and not mature. Because there are some people, like when I was growing up, I was really mature for my age and everything. And I still am. But at the same time, you have to realize that I'm still in my 20 stage at that time. I was still in 20, so I'm exploring things, finding things out, and getting my unstepping my own habits and so like that. So even though I was mature, I still was 20s. And at that time period, you want to have a good time before you go in your 30s and you just settle. So it's like the fact that you're in a relationship and then with someone who was 16 years older than her, expected so much from her. That speaks more of Corey than Catherine. And yes, Catherine may have some abilities of hard-headedness and stubbornness that she could work on, but I don't feel like all was on her. I feel like he has a part of it. And the fact that he was an older guy with a child, he didn't handle his situation better, make her feel uncomfortable. So then she took that into her relationship with Ricky and made it seem like he might do the same thing. But I was like, we get to see how Ricky and Chelsea handle, and she need to sit down with them and see how if it's the same, similar to how Corey is, or if he's taking the steps because he did stop sleeping over, so he is listening. He is trying to take a step. So we see about that. So Joy and Joshua, their ex is not coming. They're not comfortable with the situation. So Dr. Stacy gonna meet with them. So that's what they're there. Dr. Stacy came there. Dr. Stacy was looking nice. I said, oh, look at that, the person, everything. She was fly. Okay, now go ahead, Dr. Stacy. So they came there. And she was asking, what's your rush and everything having a child, Joy, and you haven't already had a son? First of all, she asked that, what is your current situation with your partner, co-parenting partner that you have a child with? She said that her son stayed with her primarily for the year, school year, and in the summertime, he with the father. And he said he was married before. Now he getting is that person remarried, so he's in a relationship with Joya, because we didn't know he was married already. We just know he had a child, but he's the baby mother remarried again, and he has a daughter. I think he has a daughter, and I think the daughter stayed with the mom most of the time, and then he has them every other day, often. So he had a good relationship with the baby mama and the mother of his child, and they could. So she asked Joya, "What is your rush in having another child when you have one child already? What's the eagerness to have another one?" She said she never want to have only one child. She always had aspiration to have more than one children. So she don't want her son to just be the only sibling. She want more and everything, and that's the type of that she just a time ticket, and she want to have it so it won't be too far advanced, and she wouldn't be close to age. So I said, okay, whatever. I guess he had a clear, defined definition, not definitions, clear goal or why you want children and what's the reason behind it. So we get to see what's up with him, why he's hesitating and fulfilling that. If he especially feel like you was the one and he was spending his life with you and everything, what's the hesitation? So she's want to sit with Joshua alone because I guess we got to see more dynamic if there's any more issues that Joy and Joshua will have in the future. But right now, it's this kid situation. So she's really clear that she wants more children. He's hesitant, so she needs to talk to him and see what's going on. And he basically saying that somewhat how he's fearful that if it doesn't work out with him and Joya, he will be in another situation where she will be left alone, and she will leave him if he a fear thing. Two things he fearful. He fearful that she will leave him if it's not done in her timeline, like kind of forcing his hand, or you forcing him when he's not ready for deciding to be a father. Which I say, if he's not ready, don't force it, because then he gonna take it out of him. He sent you and take it out of the child, and then he gonna start not being there, or being around, and then you gonna be hurt that he's present, but he's not present. So that's that. So the last relationship he had was baby mama and dad. He in a good relationship now. He said they had divorced. So it was a lot of trust issues. It was finance. It's a lot of things that he was going through at that time that it was just so much they had to divorce. So it had to rebuild himself. So he's kind of fearful of that. That if he does have a child with Julia and it doesn't work out, then he gonna be in the same situation where the child will be with her and they're gonna be back at square one like he was now, like that the child's with the ex-wife. Now he's in a relationship, and if he get force into it and it's not working out in the favor, and the relationship ends, then they're gonna be in the same back to square one, and he don't want that. So he has to have big fear, which I understand the fear, but at the same time, it's like your hesitation. Okay, you feel like she forcing you, you're not ready yet, or she will leave you if she's not in the timeline. I can also understand the fear, but it still needs to be. I don't know. It's just something about it. It's like, okay, understand it, but it's still not really clicking what's more. It's like, okay, if not her timeline, she could work around as long as it's a promises that it was gonna happen. So I'm not like she's saying gotta be she wants the timeline, but at the same time, it could be worked out if you promising, but the fact that you straight kind of fearful of not going on with it. So I think it's more than that she will leave you or you don't force being forced and the decision. Something else is going on that you're not telling us. But we'll see. That's what he said. We're gonna go by that. So that's that. Let's get to Chance of Dunbar. So we started off when we ended last week. Dr. Stacy was talking to Dunbar. She tell Chance to go in another room. She was talking to Dunbar, see what's going on, because he had this fear, false evidence of appearing real. And what is this fear coming from? Because he said he need to be feel needy. He need to feel the attention. He need to be wanted. If he don't get the attention, then he acts out on stuff. That's what he was saying. So she was saying, "Where is this coming from?" So then he started coming in. He started crying or forcing crying, whatever you want to say, because I don't know. Maybe it was all an act. saying that he had anger, depression, and playing with football, and so I think he's the football and everything. And coming home, he had a spouse, and he would just lash out. He would be very abusive. He would be, he'd been very abusive towards his partner before, so he would lash out and everything. He doesn't want to take that chance of doing that to Chance. So she said, so what is your fear of her knowing that? You feel that she will not be around with you because you have this, like you don't trust her enough to stay by your side? He said he don't trust that she will stay. That's what he said. It's like that he don't know, because if he be open and honest that he has depression and he's in anger and he might at times lash out, he feel like Chance will not stay around. But I said, did you give her the chance to stay around if you don't say nothing? If you're keeping this aside and you're not explaining what is the reason why, or you acting the way you want, and she's trying to understand the reasoning behind it, and you're not saying nothing, you're not giving her the chance to be by your side. Maybe she will be helpful and stay by your side and work through this with you, but you got to be open and honest. If you're not that, this not gonna work because you're holding that in. So after that breakthrough, he said that he said he don't trust it and anything. I guess he would have to speak up, and hopefully that she would stay around and she understand and hears him. I said, that's that. Thought things was okay, working out. The session came, they didn't show up. They didn't tell the other people in the group that they're not coming. They didn't tell Dr. Stacy, because she was saying what's going on, why. She was waiting for them for a little bit, and they continue on. And I was like, here we go. So she was on her way to go to Joy and Josh's house. She was calling them, left a message. They didn't pick up. So later on, after everything said and done, she had to sit down one-on-one with Chance and Dunbar. And basically, the reason why they didn't show up, they needed the time to regroup. They felt like it was too much going on. They didn't talk to Stacy. They wanted to handle things on their own. It was too much on the process. So they decided not to come. I said, that's rude, because you could still told her. So they sitting down, and they said it was too much of a process, the dating other people and everything. I said, I hate when people do that. I said, at the end of the day, y'all seen this show. This is the 4th season. All y'all on stage on this show knew the process. Y'all watched the show before. If y'all didn't watch the show, y'all would never sign up for it. So y'all watched the show. Y'all know how the process is. So don't get on here wasting people's time and trying to give the process a hard time because you're not ready for it. Because at the end of the day, you seen it 3 seasons before you. 3, 6, 9, and probably 10 couples that probably grace that screen. And you go sit here, 10, 11 couples, go sit here and saying that this process is too much for you. You can't handle it. So good. So they had to sit down, Dunbar and Chance, and now Dunbar told Dr. Stacy, oh, everything is good. I had a discussion with her. She stayed by my side. The pressure's gone. She said, oh, it just went away, huh? He said, yeah. Dr. Stacy was like, I know she wanted to be pissed, but she just joked with him. She's like, I know he ain't crazy. I said, depression don't go away like that. You said you had this ability for a long time, depression and anger. So all of a sudden you had a conversation and that just go away. It doesn't matter. I said, you was playing. Do you really want depressed? Or you were saying that get sympathy card? Because now you playing, you bullshitting up. And all of us was watching. So it just went away. Depression don't go away like that. You had what? Situational depression? That's what you're trying to say? So she was like, oh, it just went away. He said, yeah. I said, y'all full of it. Y'all full of it. So he said, oh, if a man, I let you know, and I let you know, if a man not touched with God, he can't change. And he's not willing to change if he's not connected to God. So I got to be connected to God to really willing to change on stuff. So I was like, okay. She said, doing your way wasn't helping. If you're doing your way, it wasn't helping because it got yourself in this impasse. And so it begs the question, why were you here? What you wanted to get out of the situation? What's up? Because y'all not giving anything. Y'all not giving us anything. And she said, you betraying yourself. She said, so here go Chair try and bulk up the Dr. Stacy. So let's be for real. Let's be for real. She said, Dr. Stacy, okay, let's be real. Okay, we're gonna be real. She said, so what you mean? What you mean? Like I said, I'm not being real, because I want to stay by my man and I want to stay by myself. Why you mean I ain't be myself? Because I decided to. So I said, it's not the issue. You decided to choose Dunbar. That's not the issue, because at the end of the day, y'all want to be together, right? The issue is that you are cheaping yourself, ignoring the red flags that you blatant in front of your face and handle it. So you gonna ignore that. Y'all gonna keep on the same page. Y'all will never move forward. So we thought we were having a breakthrough, and it sucks that y'all don't want to continue the process and everything, because that's the trailer explains that it's gonna be a new couple next week. So it's like, and I had a feeling this couple was gonna be the one leaving. I had a feeling, because at the end of the day, when the first episode said he wanted to marry her and she is stopping and stalling, I would say, if he wanted to marry you, why are we here? If y'all wanted to put a ring on it, if he said he was going to marry you, why are y'all here? So it felt like y'all was play, and it seemed like you was not. You didn't like y'all getting called out. You didn't like y'all was put your foot to the task, and Dr. Stacy holding you to the fire, and y'all didn't like that. So y'all decided to push back. And I say I hate when y'all get in every sessions and y'all know the process and y'all being resistant. It's like you go to a counselor, you know they style, you hear they style from other people, and then you go there and be resistant. That's like why you chose them, if you feel like, if you know already how they work, how they ethics, and what's their um, counseling method are, counseling methods are, and you still go them and be resistant. Stop doing that. And that was that, y'all. Put a ring on it. Tell me how y'all feel about this episode. Tell me how you feel about your chance of Dunbar leaving the show altogether. And hopefully when the reunion comes, they married. Because y'all doing all the stunts and shows, y'all better be married. But tell me how y'all feel about this episode. Please like, comment, subscribe to my channel, especially if you're new. And I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.